Yes.
All right, are we ready to go?
Let's go,
I think
girl.
we're ready. Okay, everyone, welcome to our third episode of our still untitled podcast. We're coming up with that name. If you have ideas, drop it in the comments. But we're talking everything card collecting, industry trends, lots of vintage with the card father and Jeff Garlin. And we have our special guest today, John Campanelli. He is a comedian. And also, I've heard that you're a former card shop owner.
I did. I had a card shop, yeah.
Okay, I'd love to dive into that.
Yeah.
Me too. I had no
Yeah.
idea. This is cool.
Amazing. But how did it come to be that you owned a card shop? Where was it?
Oh, man, it was so random.
Yeah.
So a good friend of mine, Corinne Fisher, who's a comedian also, her dad had a card shop in New Jersey from like the late 80s. That's what he did. You know, he had a card shop, small, humble little card shop.
Right.
Nothing like this. This is the Mecca. And when, unfortunately, he passed away. Kind of random, kind of unexpectedly, beginning of 2021. And that's when the hobby went crazy.
That's right.
Now,
Okay.
I had collected. So I got back into it. 2016, I started collecting again. And I couldn't believe the hobby
Wait,
was...
2016.
I started collecting again.
No, but what happened in 2016? Something very important. Anyone? Orange Whip? Orange Whip? What? Chicago Cubs win the World Series. 2016.
That was a
And
big year for you.
And by the way, that is a worthy interruption. I apologize.
That's a big
my
year.
friend.
Yes.
John is my friend. We perform together.
Yes.
And I don't want to interrupt.
No. I mean, maybe that's why. There was a little bit of that happened where I went, you know what? Things are kind of changing in sports now.
Yeah,
The
well,
Cubs
that
are back
was a
on.
fun one.
So I was opening boxes and I couldn't believe what I was pulling out. The hobby was pretty low then. So I was getting boxes of like, I remember, 2011 totally certified football hobby boxes for like $60, $65.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was pulling out like, I pulled out a Julio Jones autograph rookie relic out of 5, some just like obscure cool stuff. I was like, so I started with every now and then I would just go rip a hobby box. 2017 Panini Chronicles baseball, again $65. I pulled out an Aaron Judge 101 rookie.
Yeah. Wow.
Now not licensed, but still crazy, right? So I'm going, this is nuts. Actually, out of your store, I pulled a Judge out of a Topps hobby box. I pulled a Judge. I'm forgetting which autograph rookie it was, but an autograph rookie Judge out of a Top Series 1 or Series 2 out of your store. I forget which one it was. So anyway, I'm collecting. I'm going, this stuff should be going for way more. I just started getting into it. So I had built up quite the little PC. COVID happens. Stuff's going through the roof. I'm selling cards, Luka Doncic rookie that I pulled out of a hanger box that was like $10.
Yeah.
I'm selling for like $120 out of a $10 hanger. I'm going, remember there was Bellinger variations that should have sold for $5 that were selling for like $80, $85.
Yeah.
I'm going, what's going on? Anyway, she goes, we're getting a lot of offers with this store. She goes, can you come in and help me look at this? I don't really know anyone that knows about this. So I go in, I go, you're sitting on an absolute gold mine. She's like, well, what should we do? I was like, she goes, should we take the store over? I go, comedy's not back right now. I go, yeah, maybe we should. So we moved it to my hometown, and it kept me in New York. We opened it up end of 2021 in Westchester, New York. There wasn't a sports card shop around there, and it was really amazing. But we both weren't sure how long it was going to be open for. Topps allowed us to keep the account, but we had to have obviously like a real brick and mortar going. So that's why we had the storefront. And the month we opened was the month Fanatics went public about acquiring Topps.
Right.
And I went, I don't know if this is going to be good long term.
Right.
So we'll see. And then we both were getting a little busier as comedy was coming back. The hobby dipped a little bit, evened out a little bit, still higher than it was. But man, I'm still selling the inventory, but we closed down the store. It's tough to keep this going. People don't know. I mean, I had a layup in terms of inventory. He had stuff that I couldn't even believe. What stuff was selling for was crazy. 97, 98 Topps Finest, basketball. We found 12 hobby boxes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these are going to be $80, $90 a pop. $1,200 a box they were selling for, So at first it was just nuts. But it's a lot of elbow grease I mean, to build what you built is a lot. It takes a lot.
Yeah, it definitely takes a team for sure. And a lot of people see the finished product. They might see the growth, but the engine behind it is daunting. And I've been really fortunate as this business has scaled that I've had, some amazing people, amazing family. And this is all I've ever done. This is my only marketable skill that we talked about before. And it's just a passion for it, where failure is just not an option for us.
By the way, if I may, if that opportunity came to me, even if I'm full-time Curb Your Enthusiasm, whatever, I'm taking it. And the name of the shop will be Burbank Sports Cards Jr.
Yeah. Okay, we need to trademark a few things here.
Yeah, we do. Hold on. In Burbank, Illinois.
No, because I'd love to own a card shop. And I also would love to know. See, I would be bad, like I talk about the cocaine dealer who snorts his own cocaine, or her own cocaine, or their own cocaine. I would go against that, and I would, of course, whenever something comes in, vintage, I would get it. I would just go, all right, that's mine. All right, that's mine.
Yep.
And therefore, there'd be no Burbank Sports Cards Jr.
It's all your personal collection.
I was actually going to name it Burbank Sports Card the Third, but we were like, no, we kept the name of the old store Perfectly Centered.
Oh, okay.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a cool name.
That'd be a great podcast.
Hold on, wait a second here. Wait a minute. You think
pretty
that's way better than Touch All the Baby.
Dude, that's a
Perfectly
great name.
Centered.
But
But what happened?
Is it copyright?
trademark?
Junior.
Oh, stop. But anyhow, just naturally that came out. Perfectly Centered is an awesome name.
An awesome
It
name.
is.
Oh
That's
my
actually really
God.
good. That's really good.
The idea that
That's
you
in the
just
running for sure.
Thanks, pal.
For sure. But did you always grow up collecting? I know you said you kind of went in and out. Yeah.
Yeah,
so how did that go?
I loved when I was a kid, man. I would get packs. I'd have the Beckett, and I would buy packs at like Kmart, or there was like some sports card shops, and I would go, and then I would open the pack up, and I would price how much the cards were worth. So they would be like, even if they were like commons 10 cents, and I would see if there was a profit in them. I was probably like 9 or 10 years old doing this. And then, I think that there's an age where you start to stop collecting a little bit. I got really into sports. I started liking girls. I was like, I can't be opening packs anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was probably at like 13-ish.
That's the number.
Yep. But it was, I went through a giant green bin I had of all these cards when I was home a couple years ago, probably actually like 2019-ish. I was like, I want to look through all these commons I have because I was so good about putting them in cases. And I go, let me just make sure. So I started looking through, and I see a bunch of 2000 football, and I go, and I found a Brady rookie in the bin. Mm-hmm. Because at the time I didn't know. And it was probably towards the end of me maybe messing around with packs here or there. Mm-hmm. I must have just thrown him in this common bin, and it was sure enough it was the dual rookie. What was it? The Heritage? You know what I'm talking about?
No, it was the Skybox Dominion. I believe was the dual rookie. It was a lower end card.
Him and another guy. Yeah.
Another 6th rounder probably.
Yeah. But
His name was Chip. I remember the card clearly. And Chip has an amazing story. He went on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, loved it so much. The next time he went on the ride, he prepared. He went home and prepared. He got off, dressed as a pirate, and stayed there for 3 years. Then he made his debut with the Chicago Bears. His name was Jack Concannon.
Oh, I thought...
I know.
His name was Chip.
Hold on. Don't even throw in that I went illogical with an old bear from the 60s with being on a rookie card with Tom Brady.
Well, because I was like, how does he know? Because the guy's name on the card was just Chip.
Oh, there you go.
Tom Brady and Chip.
Chip. Yeah, Chip. From My Three Sons.
Oh, man. Well, do you collect anything outside of sports cards, or is this like your niche?
Realistically, it's just sports.
Yeah.
I do like kind of older stuff. Maybe some stuff that's... I kind of like history stuff, maybe, like those old tobacco cards I was showing you one of. But for the most part, it's just sports. I've scaled back my collecting a little bit, because it's a lot of it's kind of turned too much into almost day trading with the players.
Yes.
But this is also why he doesn't do card breaks. That's legalized gambling.
Right,
card
right.
breaks.
I had one guy that used to come in the store. I would call him Fast Talker. There's a lot of characters.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, and so, you think you probably have some stories, but was one guy. He was a great guy. His name was Fast Talker. He was a gambler for sure. He had a card shop, didn't have it anymore. I can probably guess why. And he would come in after a bad break, and he would go, "I just got hosed on this break," and then he would come into my store thinking he was going to make up for it. And I would give him like good prices.
Right.
And he would come he would rip the boxes open like crazy. And sometimes he would be up at the end.
Right.
But he was like going for that home run. He'd be like, I got nothing here. And I'm
my
like,
God.
hey man, you might have spent $1,000. You might have like 1,300 worth of cards in here.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I needed that home run to make up for this break I did. And I'm like,
And by the way, I think I don't know the exact stats, but I would guess winning a slot machine, like a big win, is the equivalent the same to pull a card like that.
Yes.
It's
I think
probably
it's
even
better.
harder.
I think it's better odds with the slot machine.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
no, I agree with
Yeah.
you. It reminded me what he was talking about. Reminded me of a question for you. Why don't you sell memorabilia?
That's a great question. A, I don't have the knowledge. B, it takes up a lot of room.
That it does.
C, it doesn't turn over.
Right.
And D, and most importantly, there's just more rampant fraud on that side of the business than there
Right.
is on the sports card. And
Right.
my brand has always been everything to me. And I'm just really good at cards. And I'm kind of like master
Well, what's
of-
your name?
Jack?
No, the card father. You're
I am
not,
the card
you're
father.
Not,
My name's not Jack.
you're not like I'm the memorabilia nephew.
There you go. There's just a lot of people in this industry that, whether it was Pogs, whether it was Beanie Babies, they just have this wide variety of things. And I've always been more master of one. I'm just like, I'm going to do one thing, and I'm going to do it really well. And I think that's
That's a
probably
secret to what's the movie with Billy Crystal, the cowboy one?
Three Amigos.
No, that's with Martin Short.
When Harry met Sally. No.
No. I know what you're talking with Jack Palance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jack Palance says at one moment, the one thing. Like, just be good at the one thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what I've done.
Yes.
One thing.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
This is the skills I've been given. This is what I do. It's a purpose. But you doing the same thing is just, that's it. And Jack Palance, City Slickers.
There you go.
City
And
Slickers.
He
Three
said the
Amigos
one
wasn't
thing.
that far off.
Yes, it was. Different kind of movie. With one of my favorite lines. It's not important right now. But anyhow, the one thing. And I think that's true.
Yeah.
I do photography, and there is a element to the premise of a Renaissance man, But no, I have one thing I do. I suck at, even though I have a photo book coming out, I suck.
No, you're
Let's
good at
admit,
photography.
I am. All right,
You
I'm
took great pictures of me.
all right. Well, there's.
Thanks.
Well, cool, pal.
I
Thank
really
you. It's very
appreciate
kind
it.
of you. But the point being is, I don't have any other discernible skills.
Yeah.
Ditto, right? That's why I'm saying it.
I've worked here since '79,
Right.
so I've never really been
Man,
out. Yeah,
Really? Since 79?
37
My
years.
origin story is kind of interesting.
Were you, like,
I was 12.
8?
Yeah. So it was a coin and stamp shop, and that was my first love. It was
I
really
didn't know
coins and
that.
stamps, and cards was more of a summertime thing at back then. And the owner took a liking to me and basically wanted to know, would you like to deliver flyers? And I'm like, I'm making $2 a week as my allowance back then. Wasn't a lot. And I delivered flyers. It was 2 cents for a house and 1 cent for a car. So that was basically my origin story. He really liked me. And would you like to work behind the counter? So that's obviously a decision you need to discuss with your parents. And they approved of it.
Wow.
And I was making $1.50 under the counter an hour. And that was like everything in the world to me. And it taught me something that you don't learn in school. It taught me how to deal with adults. And it taught me, when I went to build this business, it's very hard to buy things from people because they have sentimental attachments to these things. And this education that I got as a youngster was kind of like going to college to be a professional collectibles dealer.
Right.
And I wouldn't trade it for the world. And he trusted me.
When did you open up your first store?
I bought the business from him.
Oh.
He got sick. And he was looking to sell the business.
Oh.
And I was like, he gave me first shot. And this was 1988 where he brought it up to me. I was, 21 years old, Glendale College student dropout, because I was working for him. And I was making more money than he was making with the rest of the store with all his things he was doing, just selling the cards. And my parents supported it, which not every parent would do that. It wasn't like this back then.
Well, so how long did it take until things started to take off a little more? I mean,
Well, this was kind of the junk wax era, so things were hot.
in '88, right before the Griffey.
Right, so it was April of '89 that I actually got the keys, and just put my spin on the whole thing. But it was the same month as the Billy Ripken F-Face.
Yeah.
And it was within a month of Upper Deck having their first product. So it was like the perfect time to get into it. And my mother was my first real employee, per se, the adult in the room.
Right.
And as long as she was, the rest of her life, she was with me. And my father's been incredibly supportive since day one. And I've been blessed that my daughter's right across from you right now. My son runs operations. And my dad's still at 85 involved in the business.
Well, I'll tell you what you do here that a lot of places don't, and I've always really respected. You have very fair prices, and that is a big deal.
It is. It's. I try to have this place as the store I want to walk into as a collector.
Yes.
Whether it's the selection, the cleanliness,
Yeah.
the friendly staff, and you need to be competitive. It's not like it was 30 years ago where there was just a Beckett magazine. Now everybody knows every price in real time.
Right.
So unless you're very competitive, you're out of business. And we've always just tried to be fair, whether we're at the buying counter back there and everyone's like, what do you pay? I'm like, well, we pay enough to stock this kind of inventory and rotate it daily. So,
And it's crazy how in real time the prices so fluctuate. Like I remember we had an Ellie De La Cruz Topps Bowman's Best or Topps Finest, maybe a Bowman's Best autograph out for like $60 in the glass case. And he got hot all of a sudden, and that autograph went up to like $300 or something.
Yeah.
Someone in the store scoffed at the price of it being $60, like, oh, this isn't worth $60. And then I went, wait a second, I feel like that guy's doing well.
Yeah.
So I went and looked it up, and I was like, oh, thanks for doing that. This is worth way
5x.
more.
right.
Yeah.
The volatility of the market, and the best example maybe ever right now is Wemby. And his card prices have just gone nuclear. And if they win the championship, it's going to be a whole other step because we've never seen anybody like him before. And I'm looking at cards, that were in the cases a couple days ago that are gone. And I think about, oh my God, the difference in price. And it's so real time. And, you could go back to Kobe and what happened with Kobe and his cards. And you go back to OJ, which was the first real example of a card in real time going at, with the exception maybe of deaths of athletes, like maybe a Mantle. The whole OJ Simpson situation where a simple card that was $5 could become $100 overnight without the internet.
His rookie still holds some value.
It does, but that...
For murder fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not even true crime fans. Murder, specifically murder fans of... Anyhow.
But that goes to the Ellie De La Cruz situation. It's just amazing.
I wanted to say this. First off, for those of you watching, maybe you heard it.
Smells
Maybe you're
great.
like, I'm eating a Porto's Cuban sandwich. The reason I am eating it on the air is because I didn't order it before, and I'm diabetic, and I need something to scarf. However, for the best scarfing in the world, Porto's. We love to scarf with you. From Cuba.
They need to sponsor us.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just
Porto's,
gave
there we
them
go.
a
Porto's
plug.
DM us.
We just
But
plugged them.
what I was going to say is, so I gave John, again, ADHD severe, cards because I was pruning. Yeah, get rid of that. And it is amazing what the value of those cards were then, which were very accurate to where they're now, where they doubled or tripled. It's like, what the? You got to hold. You just got to hold until you see like.
Unless it's Zion.
Yes.
As we discussed
Do
last
not
episode.
hold. Yeah.
But, it's, having owned a shop, I mean, you have a whole different perspective when you go anywhere.
Whole different now, and I respect it so much more. It's like I said, it's like I still would love to have the shop. I'm a little bit like, oh man, did we make the right decision? Because we didn't close the storefront down because we weren't doing well. Close it down because we were getting too busy. But it is such a hard. I think that you also, and correct me if I'm wrong, understand the importance of like the small ball, like selling everything from the expensive stuff down. You have a lot of manpower here, and there is money in the stuff that doesn't sell for a lot. It just takes a little more manpower. A lot of people scoff at that, but it's
100%.
important.
We built our business on 50-cent to $5 cards.
Exactly.
We sold 8 million cards on eBay, and the vast majority of those were under $5, and that's how we built our brand. Is getting those cards into the hands of the collector. Not everybody's willing to do the work.
Right.
And we've talked about this before. It's the silent majority. You see all these breaks and these big cards and Fanatics auctions and all those things, but the vast majority of people in this that actually collect and build collections, get excited about that $2 card that they've been chasing. And
it would be tough for me because a guy would come in the store and be like, "Oh, I'm trying to set build.
Yeah.
Do you have, 2019 Topps Heritage number 30?" And I felt bad, but it was just so I wasn't the owner. Corinne was the owner, and I was running the whole thing. But it was just the two of us, and the problem was it was just me in the store pretty much, and then I'd have to go do stand up, and sometimes we'd have to close down or like whatever. So that's where it was getting difficult. But the guy would come in, and I would feel bad because I didn't say this to him, but in my head I'm like, I got other people in here. It's just me. I just don't have the time to go in the back and find if we do have that. And I wish we would have expanded more. But at the end of the day, it's like it's hard to find someone you trust to be involved in it. Like if we both had shows on the weekend, you can't close on Saturdays. It's a huge day.
you said the word. There's 3 things I look for in a new employee. What are they?
They know their ABCs.
No.
Right, that's an interesting one.
ABCs want you
trust.
trust, and trust.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the only thing I care about. This isn't JPL.
It's
this
so
isn't,
easy.
they're tiny little pieces of cardboard.
So easy to just take a.
I got
don't
a
even know.
51 Bowman Willie Mays just sitting right there, and I can teach you cards, but I can't teach you how to be a good. Oh wow! But I can't teach you how to be a good person.
Right.
And and that's the hard part about our business is hiring. And I stress out every single time I got to add someone to my staff. And so I totally understand what happens. And even if I'm not here, it drives me crazy. I love being here. But it's hard to like leave your baby with somebody else.
Yeah, and it's so my dad would help out, but he had an understanding, but it's like hard and so it was really difficult to get that well-oiled machine going. And then I started getting asked to tour, so I'm going to be gone all week. And then maybe, Corinne also wasn't around, and we'd be like, we're going to have to close it down, and then this. And I look back on it, and I would love to have the store again. I think
that was the question I was going to ask.
Sports Cards Junior is something we should look into.
If he wants us to, that's kind of funny. What I was going to ask you is, what happened to all the stuff after you got rid of the store?
Can I tell you what's going on in my head right now?
Well, I don't want food bouncing.
No, I know what you're doing. Can I tell you what's going on in my head, though?
What?
In the documentaries or whatever, when the person's trying to remain anonymous, it's like you messed up, you did it the wrong way, you're like, all right, start rolling.
Hold on. My face will be covered.
Yeah.
Hold on. And this is me asking you, sorry, what happened to all the different things, the cards? Because they disguise the voice.
Right.
Right.
I just kept thinking of a guy doing it the wrong way. Okay.
So what happened?
What were we talking about?
Oh, would you ever open it
Would
back
I ever
up?
open it up again?
No.
Yeah.
What happened to all the stuff that you had?
Oh,
Yeah.
the inventory is in a giant storage unit.
Wow.
And
Interesting.
I still sell it weekly. I replenish in New York. I bring it back to LA. And then when I'm in New York, I sell a bunch. And yeah, we still have it. A lot of the good stuff has gone. The amount of vintage now but like a lot of vintage singles that are like maybe commons and stuff where you're like, I mean, I was just, when I was home in December, or April actually, I was going through, I mean, 54, 55, 56, 57 Bowman. Great condition.
Sure.
No stars, but you know, it's like tricky because you're like, well, you got to look them all up because you don't know if you find one. You're like, that guy's actually worth a lot. And a lot of them aren't.
Not only do you need to look them up and know the price,
a lot of work.
You need to be able to grade them.
Yep.
You know, and that's the other trick. Vintage is just so much tougher. Modern, everything's assumed it's near mint. It just came off the presses. But
Problem
vintage is hard.
I love it so much that I will, and then I'll go, oh, I didn't book anything this week because I've been staring at 55 Bowmans for the last 7 days straight. So excited. And that was another thing. It was tough to toggle between both careers. I really needed someone to come in. I couldn't be on site, being the cashier, being the, you know, doing this, doing that, dealing with, I mean, there was, look, some of these kids, kids are great. Some of these kids, I gotta get out of here,
Tell them
man.
the stories you've told me.
Oh, I've got some, I mean, you know who wasn't great? And I don't care, because they gotta learn.
Yeah.
The moms weren't great. The moms weren't great because they didn't get it.
Yeah.
They didn't get it, and they thought that these were just, I'm like, you're carrying around a $3,000 purse. I don't understand why you spent money on that, but you can't wrap your head around how this pack's $15.
Right.
What are we doing? But they didn't understand that it was, I remember a mom came in, she bought 200, I think it was like $210, $215. It was a hobby box for her kid, which too much for an 8-year-old kid or whatever.
Right.
But great, buy it. It was legacy. It was football. And I think it was like 2 hits per box or something. But you know how Panini does this thing where sometimes if they give you an auto relic, they count that as 2 hits or something?
Oof,
I don't know, whatever. So she comes back and the kid got an autograph relic rookie. And she's like, there were supposed to be 2 autographs memorabilia. And I go, okay, well, we'll contact Panini for you or whatever. And she goes, no, I want to return the box. And I go, yeah, no, you can't do that. You
Yeah.
open the box up.
Right.
She left scathing reviews, angry reviews because we wouldn't let her return the box.
Right.
It's tough.
All the bad reviews were from the moms. Another mom came in. She said, I can find this box cheaper online. I go, then go buy it online. It's fine.
Right.
And it wasn't that much cheaper. It was like $5 or something. But the way she did it, I go, just whatever. Another scathing review. They're up. I go, we're not upcharging. We didn't get this. It was the website where a kid can list a box they have left over. Maybe someone opened a case and has 1 box left
Yeah.
and then just wants to get rid of it. So they had it up for way too cheap. We already had good prices. Because another thing is we try to be fair,
Right.
which I found out still doesn't matter because you're never fair enough.
What's
There's
the word you hear
always-
all week, all day long? What's the word?
Scalpers.
Scalpers, yes.
There's a lot of misunderstandings.
Yes.
We had created such a beautiful environment that kids couldn't handle, the dads couldn't handle. They would come in. There was nothing like this in town. It felt like people were taking ecstasy and then walking into our store because they were just like, oh my
There's-
God. They were touching everything. I was like, this is not a museum. This is not funded by your tax dollars.
Right.
So we had too many cards that were out that people could sift through, and we had to put a sheet over it. But then I remember like one time this kid came in and he just kind of pulled the sheet and he was just damaging cards.
Yeah.
So I go, hey, you can't do that. That's not for you guys to go through.
Right.
The mom was like, he can do what he wants. And I was like, then you have to pay me for this card that he just damaged. It was like a Derek Jeter relic. It was probably like a $10 card. But I was like, you damaged this card. You need to I'm going to tell everyone not to come in here. I go, you're going to tell everyone not to come into a local mom and pop shop because I won't let your kid destroy my store.
Yep.
I go, good. I don't want that type of people in here anyway.
In even a much smaller way, I have a perfect score on. I have 1 neutral, which just happened recently, which is okay, but I have I'm a 100% or 100 on eBay, and I've been on eBay since 1999, and I have that score.
Oh.
When I've sold stuff in the past on eBay, legit, whatever, at least half the time there's a problem. Half the time, send it back. Half the time, if you don't write me a good review, I'm not ready. And I literally, because there's stuff I want to sell that is not worthy of an auction, but also not worthy of me even coming in here and going, but it's like, a $500 card, let's say, and I'd be happy getting 400. Well, holy moly, put that card up, sell it. I'm sending it back. Why? The corner doesn't. And I'm like, you did the corner, but you can't get in that argument because you can't win.
Yeah.
No, they always side with the customer.
Yeah, and
Always.
so, although one time with a card, they didn't with me. Someone put the wrong description, and then I went in for the thing, and they didn't. Yeah, that's the point of eBay, which, by the way, I enjoy looking at and buying from still, but I'm very cautious as to who and what. Like, I'm really, even if someone's 99.9, I make it curious. And if you're like, people are up there saying, oh, that's a great deal for that card, 99.3. I've seen
Right.
98s before, you know?
The largest volume sellers will have the worst scores. And
Of course.
we were the 9th largest volume seller on eBay in any category global at one point during the pandemic. And the funniest thing is, you're talking about the pandemic and how crazy things got.
Crazy.
We were shut down for 10 weeks. We were dark in California. And May of 2020, up to that point, was the biggest month in the history of Burbank Sports Cards, and our retail store was closed. That will tell you just how crazy the business got almost
It didn't really
immediately.
make sense.
Yeah.
There was stuff I was like, I remember we had a Kobe PSA 10, just the regular tops, not even chrome, PSA 10 rookies. They're selling for were they going for like 3,500 at one point?
They were going for like 8,000 at one point.
And then
A
we
very
held on too
generic
long.
card. Yeah.
And then it went down to like 800.
Yeah, which is where it probably belonged to begin with. But
Totally.
But yeah, a lot of people were coming in and just didn't understand. Think about this. You're a sports fan. You were past the junk era. But for a lot of these guys that were 45 and all these fond memories of these cards, and you think about cards from 1990 and you start looking at the attributes. In 2020, those cards were 30 years old. These are your favorite players.
Right.
They're in near mint to mint condition. Or this
Right.
box is 30 years old and it's never been opened. Then all of a sudden, these $20 items are becoming $200 items almost overnight.
Yep. You know what? Another thing too. It's a little off topic, but you guys buy a lot, which you're great at, and you're very fair with it. And you buy stuff that really you can't sell anywhere else. You're very good at that. People would come in and try to sell stuff. One guy goes, "My wife wants me to get rid of this. It was all junk wax." I go, I don't. I'm sorry, I'm not interested. And he goes, "Name a price. It's yours." I go, "Sir, I literally can't even sell this." I go, "I have this in the back. I can't even get rid of."
Right.
He goes, $10. I go, "Can I be honest with you? If I give you $10, I'm handing you $10 to leave."
Sure.
Like, I can't even get $10 for this.
You actually said that to
I
him?
did, because he wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
I'm giving you $10 to leave.
It's so
Wouldn't it be great to
tough.
have a wad of cash and just walk up to people here and go, you know what? Here's $11 because you get the price in your head.
Yeah.
$11, giving it to you. Get out of here.
That's the thing. It's emotional to some people, and they think because it matters to me, it has to matter to you.
Yes.
I think we see that so often.
And a
Good
lot of
point.
guys will come in and they don't like that the stuff's worth more than they think it should be, or than like they remember it being. I had these two old guys come in. The origin story of the one guy is he apparently had an insane mantle collection. Insane. And 2012 or something like that, he had, apparently it was like probably worth in the millions now. I believe he sold it for something like 50,000. And apparently the story is because his friend was with him when it happened. They're like old, they go back way back. Someone made him an offer, came to his house with a trench coat with 50,000 in cash in it. And he goes, I told my friend, don't sell it. It's worth more than this. But he saw $50,000 and got too excited and sold it. Then when Mantle really started to kind of, and it was probably a couple years after that where the Mantles really
Sure.
started to catch on.
Yeah.
He got sick over it. So he's been like physically ill over it ever since he made that sale. So he comes in the store and we'll have like low end mantles, you know, like maybe the home run leaders, stuff like that. Maybe have it out for, I don't remember what their prices were on it, but let's say at the time, maybe like a $60 card. Nah, that's $25. and he was taking out what happened to him on me. So he would always come in and try to get like half price for cards and tell me that these aren't what they're supposed to be worth.
Right.
And I was like, you need therapy, man.
That's yeah.
Speaking of
extremely
like
true.
old guys, so buying's always been a big part. We got 35 million cards in here. I'm not a manufacturer, which means we bought every single card, right?
Got to require them.
Exactly. So I get a phone call from a gentleman up in Santa Cruz, and he's 90 years old. It's time to move on from his collection, and I've got mantles, DiMaggio's, Ruths, all of these things, and it's a full room, and your mind is just racing. This could be like the holy grail of collections, right? And so I get his information. I didn't have him send me any pictures. I didn't have anything. I didn't really think twice because I was so, oh my God, I need to get up there and take a look at it. So I get in the car. I drive 6 hours up to Santa Cruz, like in the middle of nowhere. Guy comes to the door in his bathrobe and I don't even think, whatever. And he takes me back to the room, and it's a full room of cards, all right. But what I didn't know, he did not
He was
start.
getting you there for different reasons.
Our comic minds went to the same place.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I walked into that.
So
So
you did. You do a robe and you insinuate he's naked under the robe,
Yeah.
and you're in a room full of baseball cards. I don't think the cards were the agenda.
You got to be more specific with robe stories.
That was a little piece of meat.
Yeah.
he
all
held
right.
in front
Make
of
a
you.
note, Sammy.
Yeah.
So what I didn't realize was he did not start collecting when he was 10 years old. He started collecting when he was 60 years old. Oh. So you're doing the math, and what kind of mantles and DiMaggios were around in the 90s? They were all reprints.
Oh, my goodness.
And so I drove all the way up there, and I'm looking, and and he's excited that I'm there. No one's ever been there to look at his whole collection before, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this is not going to work for me, and I'm how do I break it to this guy, And I'm trying to explain to him. You see the copyright date on this mantle? It says 1997, And I was under the assumption, and he made it sound like these were original cards, and
And it's got to be scary because you don't know what's under the robe.
and this is
So-
true
Well,
too.
by the way, tell him what happened when you left. He said goodbye to you at the front door, and the robe was open.
Yep.
Oh my God! Okay,
You walked
this
into
went
that.
this went a different direction.
Now, did
Sammy.
he get angry with you?
He was not happy. He was kind of taking it out on me that he thought he had a lot of money worth of cards, and I wasn't willing to make an offer because any offer I would have made would have been incredibly insulting to him. Then I'd have to find a way to drag all that stuff back to Burbank,
Which is not worth it.
which is not worth it. It's like you said. It's almost like me handing you $10 bills just to get rid of you. Yeah.
This sounds.
That's one of my favorite lines.
That was awful, but I wasted like 15 hours driving back and forth by the time.
But you had a lot of quiet time to yourself.
I did.
And that's where you came up with the name Card Father.
There
Yeah.
you go. I had a lot of time to reflect how stupid I was that I didn't ask
It's
him to have his
amazing
daughter
how
or
life-
son
how
to
life
email
is-
me pictures.
It's amazing how life is full of so many regrets of just time.
Yeah.
This took this much time. Why did I?
I mean, there could probably be a Cardfather TV show, like a scripted series, not reality.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
about all these stories.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a crazy story to drive that far. That guy in a robe an angry man in a robe with reprints comes out.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, it's a great
It's
premise.
basically a comedy show.
What do you
Yeah,
do?
At that
and I
point.
think that it's just there's so many things like that we've dealt with over the years.
My mind in that scenario. Were you gonna say something?
No, I'm just thinking about the possibility of me doing a show like that.
All right, let's do it.
he
Let's
has
do
the
it.
robe.
He has the robe
No,
ready.
actually, let me tell you something. If you live in Santa Cruz,
Okay.
and you're naked under your robe, and you got a lot of cards that are worth nothing, you're living the life.
Living the life.
True.
Amazing.
And he was 90. He's in relatively good health. He was spry.
Anytime I hear a story that starts with the guy who's wearing a robe, I
It's over.
immediately, this isn't gonna end
It's
well.
over. And I feel like we kind of covered this, but we talked about this in past episodes, and I'm curious for you. What do you feel like your hobby hot take is? Like, what's an unpopular opinion that you have?
Yeah, that's
about the
the thing.
hobby?
It's not like an opinion you have that
Yeah.
someone might agree with. It's what do you think that you could say that people would disagree with.
Yeah. It's your hill to die on.
Come up.
I got a lot. I got a lot in the
I was about
hobby
to
right
say,
now.
that's the best question.
Yes.
Of all the people, guests, that is the best person to ask that question.
Got a lot of hot takes.
But pick one that you think our listeners would go, what?
I don't know if people will say what to this, so
Or
if
how
it's
about
not,
this?
I'll go again.
Huh?
Oh,
Or what?
okay. Huh?
Yeah, huh?
Okay,
Or-
if this isn't a good one, I hope that I can have a second
Sure, we
one.
can do that.
I think people are grading too many cards. I don't think cards need to be graded. You don't need to grade a card unless it's like really a low pop that's like this is in really good shape. But grade to just grade is just kind of
That is the best answer.
Yep.
That is.
We
I wish
talk
I could
about
be
this.
at that booth all day long and say, please don't, please don't, please don't grade this card.
yes.
And then one person would go,
I have one more.
They're conditioned.
you got one more.
Go
What's
ahead.
the other hot
By
take?
the way,
Perfectly centered.
Hold on, though.
Perfectly
In
centered.
terms of having
Junior.
him,
Off-center.
hold on. In
Off-center.
terms of having him on a guest, always going to have him.
Thanks.
No, you were for sure. But I always wondered how you guys would react because he has dozens of these answers.
Yes.
Love
Dozens.
it.
I'm glad you agreed with this first one.
Yes.
This one, I don't want to ruin it for anyone. We're talking about the chase card, the mantle chase card. I don't love the chase card situation in the boxes because I think really what it's doing is it's making people froth at the mouth to go open it, and it's leading to it's essentially a way to sell more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay, so who would not be part of that aspect of buying, although it might catch them a little bit, the silent majority?
Yeah. No, and that's
We
exactly
refer
it.
to the silent majority as people who are really into the hobby
Yeah.
for the right reasons. Doesn't mean they don't want it, like, oh,
Yeah.
look, I got this valuable card. I don't care about this player, you know.
The vocal minority are those that have large social media followings. And unfortunately, a lot of collectors come into this, and the first thing they see is some of the big social influencers
Yeah.
that might have a different agenda or just false information. And that would be one of my things is influencers that have too much influence.
Yeah,
And-
and that's in every industry. They're
Every
destroying
industry.
comedy, everything. We could go on. I mean, we could.
We were even talking about
Yep.
that.
Now,
tough.
influencers and reality stars are ruining society because you said you're good at one thing, they're good at nothing. They jump into something, they somehow gain followers, whether they buy them or what have you. They exploit whatever industry they come in, and they don't really know what they're talking about, most of them. Exceptions to every rule. I shouldn't say that with everyone.
Yeah.
That's not a blanket statement. There's some people who are good at it, but a lot of times it's just exploiting something. And what we're seeing happen with these breakers and stuff is they're coming in hot, fresh. They know how to manipulate the algorithms, and
Sorry, that scared me.
they know how to manipulate the algorithms, and they're just they're kind of coming in and they're
That's
saying
just a
something.
weird world. That,
It is a weird-
That, and by the way, I go on Instagram and I watch the videos, and you can curate because they have the 3 dots, and you can say not interested.
Yep.
So I curate. So all the things that and some of them are in fact influencers per day. None of them that I know hold up about, hey, this is piping hot toothpaste or whatever the hell it is. But
Piping hot
I want to
toothpaste.
give credit in being an optimistic person. But I do believe that everybody is good at something.
I like
That's
that.
my belief.
All right.
That's optimistic. I feel like that
That
would
is.
be a good note to end on, to be honest.
Yeah.
Of,
Well, look at me.
everyone's good at something. It's
Yes.
fabulous.
Well, yeah, so don't
Yeah.
do that, John.
Well, I have an unpopular opinion about that. And
Oh, this has been awesome. Thank you, John, for joining us. You had a really
course.
cool perspective as like a hobby
Oh,
shop
we're definitely
owner.
bringing you
and
back.
like,
Oh,
yeah.
What's interesting about his appearance, we've only done a few of these, but it was probably the quietest of the 3 of us. I just loved listening to what he was saying.
I
It's
want to bring you in
fascinating.
more because I love listening to what you say.
Oh,
You made me when we were going through your cards. Man, I was having a great time. He has a great collection.
Oh, I've no doubt.
Oh yeah, all the Cubs you have too. Yeah,
100%.
cool. That was
Yeah.
some good laughs.
I was just intrigued because you can mimic my experiences from being in the card shop, and everything you're saying, memories are firing. Oh yeah, I remember her.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You guys are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
But this has been awesome, and thank you again for joining
Thanks
us.
for having me on.
And-
Yeah,
By
that
the
was
way,
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going through the.
You're opening?
I opened a pack, and there is absolutely Positively nothing.
And you know that happens.
You know, I know it's just
That's the name of the game.
okay.
But thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.